You know, I was gonna wait until April to do this, but you know what? No. I can't wait any longer. We're doing this right now. For those of you who follow me on DeviantArt and Twitter, you probably know about this, but for those of you who don't know, allow me to quickly fill you in. Semi-famous animator Benjamin Tannehill, better known as Benthelooney, has been accused of being a racist by Twigs and Soul Brother number 3. Now, what evidence did they have to prove that Ben is supposedly a racist? Well, this is their evidence.
If you know Benthelooney, you also know a real big fucking piece of shit who's also racist now. He made a video defending minstrel shows, or animated minstrel shows. If you don't know what that is, Google it. Also really careful in that video with his language referring to human beings as the blacks. T-H-E, the blacks.
I did what I normally did. I did my research and I looked into the entire situation. And there's just one teeny tiny little problem with your whole statement, your whole video. It's absolute bullshit. All of it is. All this video is a bunch of manufactured fake outrage to get people offended over stupid shit. It's a complete lie, a fabrication, and I'm going to spend the next however long this video is proving that. Now, regarding his first accusation that Ben referred to black people as the blacks, anyone that actually watched Ben's video knows that he didn't actually refer to black people as the blacks, he just said black. What Soul did is that he completely took what Ben said, completely out of context, to make him appear to be an evil, horrible, racist person when he isn't like that at all. And even if he said the blacks, that wouldn't be offensive. No person in their right mind would be offended by that. Speaking as a black person myself, I'm not ashamed of my race, I'm not ashamed of who I am and my heritage. If someone refers to me as a black person and I'm actually black, then that's what I am. I'm black. And that's not offensive. I'm not offended by that. Stop trying to get offended on my behalf because I'm supposed to be offended because I'm black, because he said the word the blacks. You don't believe me that Ben was simply just saying blacks? Here's him saying it himself.
That's right. Clampett was a big fan of jazz music and hung out in clubs, making friends with a lot of black musicians, and they would ask him, hey, why don't they have any black cartoon characters? So, Bob decided to make cartoons that featured black characters. These cartoons weren't made out of hate, they were made out of love and respect for jazz music and black culture at the time. But no, since they feature blacks who have pink lips, that makes them racist.
Ben's totally a racist, you guys. He's totally a racist for referring to black people as black. Oh my god, that's a horrible thing that we need to focus on. Let's forget about all the people that are actually being racist. Let's forget about all the people that are actually being bigoted. No, let's focus on a guy who refers to black people as black, because apparently, if you refer to a black person as black, you're racist. Now, he presents his second argument about why Ben is supposedly a racist, and this one is a doozy.
So, blacks were portrayed as having big pink lips and singing Camptown races. As an animator who sees these cartoons as art and finds them quite funny,
so because he finds minstrel show cartoons funny, that makes him a racist. I'm getting that. Okay, he's a racist then. No, it isn't. This is another example of Soul Brother completely taking what Ben said completely out of context. Within that very same video, which Soul Brother conveniently leaves out, Ben says this.
So now these rare cartoons have been sought out by fans and historians, claiming that these cartoons deserve to be shown because to take them away would be as if to say they never happened. And I agree with that. So, blacks were portrayed as having big pink lips and singing Camptown races. Well, here's a shocker to a lot of you. People are able to separate cartoons from reality. That's right, I knew that black people didn't have pink lips and sang Camptown races in real life. The same way I knew that rabbits and ducks couldn't talk.
After examining both videos thoroughly, I can say this with absolute confidence. Ben is not a racist. Nothing in this video, let me repeat that, nothing in this video at all indicates that Ben is a racist, nor does he harbor any racist views. And it becomes incredibly obvious why Soul Brother conveniently left these two parts out of his video, because it would completely invalidate his entire argument. If you truly believe, sir, that Ben is a racist, then where's your fucking evidence? Where's your proof? Oh, that's right, you don't have any evidence, you don't have any proof. You clearly just made this shit up to attack someone you didn't like. Let's be honest. And the fact that you made this video knowing full well that Ben wasn't a racist, and yet you called him a racist anyway, with no evidence, is astounding to me. And the fact that people actually believe this shit, the fact that people actually believe that Ben was an evil, horrible, racist person is sad. It's really, really sad. I mean, after all, you did send your fans to witch hunt him. You tried to send a tidal wave of hate to Ben's Twitter page simply because you didn't like him. Don't believe me? Soul Brother actually admits it in the end of his video. Check this out.
At Benthelooney tweeted his double-barreled dick shit ass and tell this literal motherfucker if he doesn't come on Soul Bro Radio, he will miss his final opportunity to not be a 100% piece of shit.
So not only do you accuse Ben of being a racist with no evidence, then you tell your fans to go and attack him. You wanted to send a tidal wave of hate on his YouTube page and his Twitter account simply because you didn't like him. Am I the only one that finds this despicable? Because this is fucking despicable. Without a doubt. If you're ever wondering why ranters and commentators are starting to put disclaimers at the beginning of their videos telling their audience not to witch hunt people, shit like this is exactly why. I mean, did you even watch this video before you uploaded it? That's a legitimate question. Did you watch the entire thing? I'm assuming that you watched the entire thing, because I refuse to believe anybody could possibly be this stupid and fuck up the context this hard. You obviously knew full well that he wasn't a racist. You seem like an intelligent, smart guy, at least to some degree. But you completely skipped the context. You just said, fuck the context. I'm just gonna call him a racist. I don't have any evidence to back up my claims. I'm just gonna call him a racist, and people are gonna believe me because dozens of people hate Benthelooney, and, there's still a bandwagon of people that hate Benthelooney, so if I call him a racist, then people will automatically believe me. Evidence be damned. I don't need any evidence. People will just believe me. This is just fucking depressing. It really, really is. Shit like this pisses me off because it trivializes racism. When people are actually being racist and doing actual racist shit, it's going to be taken less seriously because it's hard to tell what's real and what's fake because there have been so many false racism accusations over the last few years. And I don't think you realize how serious these accusations are. You're accusing somebody of being a racist. Anybody with half a brain can take the time out, watch the video, understand the context behind it, and realize that he's not being a racist. It's not that hard. Like, I only saw one person in that video call you out on it for what it is. It's fake. It's done for nothing more than to create unnecessary drama for the sake of having drama. Like, there's no evidence, there's no proof, but people just blindly believe it because they have a hate boner for Benthelooney. It's ridiculous. Now I know some of you are gonna say, but what about his obsession of hi puffy amiyumi and drawing them in a sexually provocative manners? Look, you already know my stance on all that if you watched my examining Clay Claymore video, so I'm not gonna reiterate it here. So if you really want to know my stance on it, just watch that video. But whose fault is it really? Is it Twigs or Soul Brother number 3's? It's honestly both of their faults. Twigs obviously has a beef with Ben for some reason that I don't know, don't understand. He just doesn't like him, and that's fine. He truly believes that Ben, for some stupid reason, is a racist. He obviously believes these claims. He wouldn't have made the video otherwise. But he couldn't even muster up the courage to make it himself. He had to get somebody else to do it. That's a pretty telltale sign of a bad video, especially a video that's based on an accusation. Like, if you believe the accusation but you don't have any evidence to prove it, just get someone else to do it, because if you were to do it yourself, well, no one's gonna really believe you, you know? And Soul Brother, again, you knew that he was racist. You knew that he wasn't racist, sorry. You knew that what Ben was... You were taking what Ben was saying completely out of context to make him appear to be something that he wasn't. You obviously knew this. You had to have known this. but you decided to just say, fuck it, I'm just gonna call him a racist anyway, because I don't like him, and that means he's a racist, and I'm just gonna attack him and tell my fans to attack him, and yeah, he's gonna get a tidal wave of hate, and I'm gonna make his life a living hell. Yeah, good job trivializing racism. To be honest, I think they're both pieces of shit for doing this, because this is despicable. Shit like this is inexcusable. And I know some people are gonna say, oh, but he's just trolling, he's just doing it to fuck with him because he's a moron. So the excuse is, because he's supposedly a loser, supposedly he's a moron, that means he deserves to be called a racist, and that justifies it because he's a moron and a loser. No, that's bullshit. That doesn't justify it. And even if it comes out that Soul Brother was doing this purely to troll Ben, purely for a joke, I mean, that's still a fucked up thing to do to somebody. It still doesn't make it okay. And we as a community do not need to accept this. We shouldn't accept this, because this makes all of us look bad. Because there's this certain stigma against ranters and commentators that we're nothing more than a bunch of bullies that simply attack and harass other people, and shit like this does not help that reputation. You know? And I mean, listen, if you're going to accuse someone of something, you better damn well make sure you have evidence to back up what you're saying. Because if you don't, nobody's going to fucking trust you. I wouldn't trust these two with accurate information, even if my life depended on it. You know? Again, we need to come together, love one another, you know, talk with one another, actually have a discussion, a debate. We should allow for dissenting. We shouldn't allow people like this to purposely hurl out false accusations just to defame somebody, just to, you know, just for attack purposes. And you know, I could go on all day about this. I could deride both of these ass clowns for being pieces of shit. But I think at this point, you get the point. The whole thing is false. There's nothing to worry about. Ben isn't a racist. These are just accusations. These are disgusting accusations. And they have no basis in fact or reality. They were made up. They're false. That's the end of it. Well, that's all I gotta say. This is ThatKidDouglas, aka the Unhero, signing out. Deuces. Stay frosty and keep it weird. Until next time, Space Rangers, remember to have a wonderful day.